Well, caring for a family member with cognitive difficulties is very demanding. Here to talk about how to support an older loved one with dementia is Lauren Miller, owner of Right at Home. Lauren, thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Of course. So I want to start with, when we talk about caring with someone with, for example, dementia or cognitive difficulties, why can that be so much more difficult than caring for someone with other health issues?
Well, we never want to minimize. I mean, any family caregiver that's caring for a loved one, it's tough. But when we look at dementia or a cognitive disability, many times it feels like you're fighting the disease, you're battling that disease, but you're also battling your loved one in the course of that. And so that just makes it really hard emotionally, physically, mentally. Yeah, it's just really tough.
Very difficult, yeah.
For sure.
And I know, part of it is with the caregivers, that can be sort of a big help for families. So can you talk a little bit about how caregivers can make a difference?
Yeah, we're always encouraging caregivers. We have caregiver support groups and family caregivers, to make sure that we are there for them. One example is focusing on your loved one's abilities, not their disabilities. We're the ones who see, the family's the one that sees the decline, the difference, the change. Many times we can walk in and go, but look what we can do. Let's do this. Let's continue those afternoon walks. Let's continue, whatever it is that really brings joy to you, to the family, maybe offer some respite for family. That's a wonderful example, I feel like, focusing on those abilities.
And I love that, focusing on the abilities and not the disabilities.
For sure.
Because I feel like for a lot of families, that disability is sort of kind of what scares them so much and what makes it so difficult. But
absolutely.
I love that, the positivity of thinking about what you can do.
Yeah. We also, want to make people aware, family caregivers for sure, that, at any stage of dementia or cognitive disability, most we feel are aware of their environment. So there's different senses that we can, music, smells, different things that we can do and encourage families to do to bring peace to them, also their loved one. That's always a really good thing to see, for sure.
And so with that, when we're working on things like recognition and orientation, how can families and caregivers focus on that? Right.
Well, there's quite a few simple things, always referring to yourself, refer to yourself by name, I'm going to check on this, whatever it is, referring to yourself, also referring to your family member's name. That just makes sure that we want to mitigate anxiety, tension, frustration, some things like that can make sure and add that security, labeling things and minimizing processes and not arguing, things like that, for sure.
Making it easier for them to make those connections.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Perfect. So with Right at Home, if people want to learn either more about helping someone with a dementia or with a cognitive disability, or talking about Right at Home, where can people head to?
Sure do. We have a great support guide for supporting a family member with dementia on our website, rightathome.net/Little Rock. You can always call us 501-673-3166. We have a great team that is waiting to be a resource to family caregivers, and we want to help.
Exactly. All right, Lauren, well, thank you so much for coming on today. We appreciate it.
Thank you, friend.
Of course. And we're going to be right back after this break with a final check of your forecast. Don't go anywhere.